Why did you delete that tweet? There is a man with a gun to my head right now, and he said to do it or he'll blow my head off. And this kind of thing happens like 5 to 7 times a day. Oh my god. Thank you so much, Michael filled with urine. I have never felt so seen before. Hi again, guys. And if you see one of my tweets go out and then get its light snuffed out within the space of like 30 seconds to an hour, it's because something like this is happening. You shouldn't be making fun of me for like deleting a so-called flop of a tweet. You should be praying for my safety, man. I could be in real peril. That said, whatever the motivation for deleting a tweet, it has long been held in Twitter parlance that a screenshot of a tweet with "this tweet has been deleted" right under it is oftentimes will make the original tweet funnier. And unfortunately, I believe it's a thing of the past where the message that displays has been updated to say something like "nothing to see here," and it has like some stupid binoculars visual that I hate. Another list of terrible changes Elon has made to the site that I still can't get myself off of. Or am I gonna go blue sky? Well, I guess I did do that for a little bit. If you guys enjoyed this video, this card at the end will take you to the last time we talked about like just some insane tweets. And be sure to subscribe with notifications on so you never miss an upload. I have been sourcing these from a variety of places, a lot of aggregate sites, and the type of things we're going to be looking at range from people deleting their tweets in a panic to the deleting of the tweet being part of the plan for the original joke. For instance, here's something that feels ripped right out of like 2015. This would have had me busting a gasket in my freshman year. Roses are red. This poem isn't completed. You'd think this tweet would stay up, but this tweet has been deleted. I mean, like, it's kind of clever. I respect it in the back of my head for that purpose, but you tweeted this during the pandemic, man. I'm willing to give you some leeway on that because we were all going through stuff at the time, doing things that we didn't think we would in our conception of ourselves before that terrible time. But yeah, 6 years too late, bro. This might still crush on Pinterest in the modern day, though. I'd say take it to Facebook, but I don't really think they give you the option to do this sort of thing. Specifically on weed Twitter, you have someone saying, "Weed ain't enough. I need meth." And like, I respect it because like, it seems like she got some support from her community. That's 140 like. That quote ratio must have been scaring her off a little bit. I feel like a lot of these tweets like get Streisand affected. Like, they would have been seen as an oddity by the niche of Twitter that you occupy normally, but they would have been able to stay contained in that bubble because not extra attention was being brought to it because it's now lost media. When it becomes a screenshot like this, it gets circulated in places that aren't Twitter at all much more easily because all the context you need is kept in the one screenshot. The router is still shaking from that e-sex I just had. I've seen so many versions of the e-sex Wi-Fi router meme, like the concept of a virtual cuck chair where you're like just the third dude between two Discord peers who are just having like violent phone sex. It is not an enviable position, and honestly, I'm glad that I'm not a robot because I really don't want to have my name put into any conversations like that. I've been told there's a guy who sounds like me who suffers from this very often, and I'm glad he's hurting. Imagine arguing with a deaf person and they just close their eyes. Deleted after 1 like, man. And the dude who took the screenshot even was a supporter. They are the single like. It was like a crisis of morality the OP had where they're like, how could I say that? How could I say that thing? Which, honestly, I don't know how deaf people would feel about this. Because you know what? On its face, let's take the question. Let's consider it for a second. What if you were arguing with a deaf person and they just closed their eyes? What am I gonna do? Scream louder? Unless you want to make that confrontation physical and like really give them hands instead of just the sign language, then the argument's over there, man. There's nothing you can do about it. I just fucking lost a Clash Royale game because of a stupid ass Amber Alert. I hope that motherfucker stays missing. I won't lie, whenever I get an Amber Alert in my area, it genuinely does like catch me off guard because I have like 4 separate devices the thing comes on now. I can't remember if it does it on my iPad, so I usually just let the battery stay dead on that fucking thing so it doesn't happen. But imagine getting the same Amber Alert, just slightly staggered, blasting at you from 2 different directions. Like, okay, yeah, you certainly got my attention. That said, I do have a little etiquette when I get an Amber Alert. I do my part as a citizen. Like, I see the description of whatever kid's gone missing, and if they were seen in a specific vehicle, if I'm outside, I'll like look left and right and see if I see that car. If I don't, I did everything I could as a citizen. I did my part. Now do yours. Oh man, there are so many classic brand account blunders like this one where with brands as big as one like Microsoft, we are predisposed to be uncharitable. We are looking for every single way we can twist their words that we can think of. And honestly, I feel like that's the morally correct position to have in this case, you know what I'm saying? For instance, from the Microsoft Edge Twitter account, it's almost the end of the year, and we want to see how you #Edge. Show us your most memorable edges in the replies below. This is like when the Tony the Tiger Twitter account was asking for replies. It was like that one image of the Bara furry just cooking crack in a pot with like Bugatti keys. Please tell me someone knows what I'm talking about and I'm not going insane. He's wearing like 3 gold watches on each arm. I don't know. I can only imagine people were just sending like videos of them rubbing one out from a first-person perspective because guys do not know how to take cock shots. Good morning, hating-ass hoes, reporting live from y'all's Honda Accords. Honestly, I always had the stereotype of like a hater car in my head as a Honda Civic, unless you're insinuating that they are literally living out of their Honda Accords, like that's where they live. You get to stay rent-free in their heads, and they stay rent-free in their cars that they may or may not still be paying the lease off of. This one is targeted, man. Is this like a bigotry-related thing? I don't know. It's petty as hell, and I'm gonna enjoy it for what it is. Every time my work enemy talks about their partner, just designated work enemy, dude, I don't think I ever, like, when I worked at a real job, had a guy I specifically had it out for or thought had it out for me. And again, I was pretty asocial when I actually had a fucking real employment, but I can imagine that going in and out and having to see a person you genuinely disdain and have to get along with to an extent in order to, like, pay your bills, that's gotta be rough, man. But whenever my work enemy talks about their partner, I make sure to ask which one, so that she has to explain that she's poly in front of our older bosses. Honestly, if I had that kind of mind gaming happening, like, in the workplace, I would be thinking of excuses about, like, why I would have multiple partners, per se. Like, when you say which one, you could just say, my current one, and try to make the implication that it's like an ex that the other person could have been thinking of. I won't lie, though, that's a pretty expert pincer maneuver here to, like, get someone boxed in. I gotta respect the savviness of it all. The only way I could really see this backfiring, an old boss who is just surprisingly progressive about these sort of things and doesn't really mind. He's like, I didn't get it, but my parents didn't get a lot of stuff I liked either. You do you, kiddo. Okay, here's one that is just unabashedly someone getting dunked on over and over again, and that's why they deleted the tweet. Like, this is how you can usually tell with these things. Look at the ratio of quote tweets to likes. It's ropes, man. It's ropes. There's people that believe that the moon is natural. LMAO. That is a new one. I'll give you that. Like, I've heard the flat earth. I've heard that actually the universe rotates around Earth and not around the sun. I've heard that the earth is 6,000 years old, but I've never heard that the moon was, like, man-made before. Like, this person believes that we actually landed on that shit, and of course we did. We made it. We had to get it up there somehow. So it's child's play in comparison to put a few boots on the ground up on that space rock. It's actually just a piece of cardboard in the sky. Here's one that must pull at your heartstrings if you have a heart at all, I believe. A fish is swimming upstream, and suddenly he bumps his head into a wall. Damn, he says. The joke is funny, but his shithead followers bully him into deleting it. Oh man, that makes me kind of sad, dude. This is like the relationship I have with you guys whenever I live stream to an extent. Whenever you guys bully me for what you think is a shit tweet, how about you consider that I could be in mortal danger or that my feelings might get a little hurt? Both of these things are worthy of equal consideration and just as likely as each other to happen. It does kind of remind me of like that era of fucking Dory tweets we used to have to endure. I'm not gonna read this one here. This is an honorable mention because this one got like a damn near thumbnail treatment a few weeks ago. This tweet has been deleted and the tweet is blank. If you know, you know. Y'all, what's one weird thing y'all used to do as a child? I used to lay toilet paper across the toilet. Okay, I've heard of the debate, like, do you wipe the toilet down with toilet paper or do you put, like, strips on the seat itself so you're not touching cheek to chair, like, directly? You won't get, like, the last guy's poop particles on your butt. But across? That shit better be going, like, under the first lid so there's at least a little air room for the poop to fall. Otherwise, it's getting stopped right at the butthole. I laid toilet paper across the toilet so that when I pooped, the toilet paper would catch it, and then I'd look at it for a long time before I put it in the toilet and flush. I can absolutely understand why you delete this, man. This looks terrible in front of whoever is following you on Twitter. To your employer, if they end up seeing it themselves, your social circle is probably not going to let you live this down ever or live around you anymore at all, period. And all that said, I can't say that I haven't tweeted worse. The thing is, I don't think you're lying about this. I'm usually just saying shit to get a reaction. Some of it might be real. Most of it was stolen from someone else. Oh my god. Oh my god, this one is crazy. Okay, I'm gonna put a slight content warning on this one. A content warning for abortion. Imagine your card declines at the abortion clinic, and then the doctor starts nutting in you. This is like the most extreme version of that one joke you always hear where it's like, your card declines at the therapist, so they have to undo all the progress you made under their care. So they just start berating you, just getting into the crevices of your being, because you've already given them all the tools of your deepest insecurities. Presumably, you've trusted them up till now, so they're just gonna get on your ass in any way they can. The magic school bus could be playing in your ass right now, and you'd have no idea. Maybe you you wouldn't, but I have a very sensitive prostate, so I'm very aware of what's going on in my stool, even without, like, physically checking in the mirror. Sometimes for deeper jobs, you gotta spread eagle it a little bit. For, like, an everyday scenario, it's just not really an issue. That said, I'm not, like, huge on putting even small metal objects up there. I think, like, I would prefer the Magic School Bus to stay away from there. If only for the passenger safety, because what are you doing back there anyways? Miss Frizzle, if you're doing that, you should be losing your teaching license. I think I suffer from mental Illinois. In this person's defense, I don't think I've met a single person from Illinois who is doing A-okay. Like, they got something going on. It's, like, definitely of varying levels of severity, but something is definitely going on in the minds of people who live in Chicago and beyond. Oh, here's a classic one that you probably see reposted all the time where people are just, like, stupid baiting. They're trying to get interaction by playing dumb. Thinking about writing, as in, you know, writing a book. Is this right for y'all? Is this right for y'all? Whatever. Nina, flip me horizontally accordingly. Don't make me look stupid. Make sure I'm pointing in the right direction. The right direction, get it? Tweeted on 420 in 2022. 420s, because I keep it 100. I'm sorry, man. You were one off. You were 120 off. What was it called when Lex Luthor stole, like, all the cakes and shit? Like, yeah, in the comics, Lex Luthor has this infamous scene where he stole 40 cakes. When no one was looking, Lex Luthor took 40 cakes. He did. He took 40 cakes, a number this time. That's as many as 4 10s. And that's terrible. Yeah, can you believe that, man? That's the face of true evil. I can definitely believe that's the kind of guy who would trap his ex-girlfriend in, like, a pocket dimension he created to keep all the people he doesn't like. And also the monkey bot farms he uses to tweet hate posts about some guy he also doesn't like. I know Abraham Lincoln's hat went flying when he got assassinated in that theater. Some people say that the hat made Abraham Lincoln more of a target. Like, he was already a tall-ass dude for his time, and then the hat made him that much fucking taller, so, like, he stood out in the crowd crazy amounts. But I wonder if it, like, ever confused people on to where his head actually stopped and started. Like, the hat's the most obvious thing to aim for on his body, but how much of that is just empty? And also, if it even did manage to, like, go through the hat and then, like, part of his skull, would it help act as, like, some sort of soft cushioning? It probably wouldn't do enough, but, like, it might make the difference between the doctors being able to save him or not. I don't know. With modern technology, a lot is possible. Leave your bets on how far Abraham Lincoln's hat went flying in the comments below. What's that mouse called from Stuart Little? Damn, I wonder. I'm really not sure. I used to have a lot of hatred in my heart for Stuart Little just as a concept, and I think a lot of people were rightfully so as well. Like, in an orphanage full of human children that can't find parents or families, there's a family that picks the rat as their first pick? You're kidding. Or, like, any number of picks at all except for last place. Like, just so much shit completely out of whack. From VeggieTales facts, I don't actually know if this has got deleted. Oh wait, no, it's deleted because the entire account got axed. When you die, your voice is added to the chorus of children yelling, "Aye aye, Captain," in that SpongeBob intro. Is that really such a terrible way to go out? Like, I'm not super sold on there being an afterlife in this whole shit. I'm okay with the endless abyss of nothingness, because when that happens, it's simply just not gonna be my problem anymore. Any fear I have of it will be temporary and it'll be too late. I don't want to die. I just know that I'm going to someday, so I'm gonna find out one way or the other. But if there is, like, a confirmed afterlife, man, I'm really concerned about what's laying on the other side. SpongeBob chorus doesn't sound too bad in the grand scheme. Alright, here's another toilet-related one. Some people have, like, really specific toilet habits that they broadcast into the wider world thinking that it's a more common experience than it is, and I can relate to this to an extent. Have you ever wiped and wiped and wiped and the toilet paper still wasn't white, so you just gave up? I'm gonna be honest, I don't think I've ever given up until, like, I'm sure that I've gotten at least, like, all the poo out of there. Like, I will wipe until that shit is red if need be, man. That's probably really unhealthy, but for the most part these days I just use a bidet. I was hesitant to for a while because I was scared, like, what if I like it a little too much? But the truth of the matter is, it just kind of catches you off guard the first couple times, and you start to get used to it, and you can set your settings if you have a nice enough one. Trust me, the bidets make wiping after diarrhea so much easier. You still gotta wipe some to dry it off, but you can get, like, the nastiest bits off if you just manage to do a little. If I was a plant and someone sprayed me with water, I would probably moan a little bit. Lol. I don't disagree, but I can imagine, like, why you would retract this tweet pretty fast. New word, slur, when you're giving slay plus purr. Dude, 17,000 likes and only, like, 700 quote tweets before this thing actually got sunsetted off into the distance. Enough people were apparently fucking with this for it to, like, go the distance before it got axed. Me and my friends would have killed E.T. with hammers. I can tell you that much. I believe this. I know the exact type of person who would be fully down for this. I don't think I would be a participant myself myself, but honestly, like, I'm the fence rider on this issue. I think that you do you, beat up ET if you want, just leave me out of the thrashing. Okay, let's end this off with a very out-of-pocket one. Pussy so fat, they're shaming it on ED Twit. That's gonna do it for me. That card I mentioned should be on screen now. If you enjoyed, be sure to drop a like and subscribe with notifications on so you never miss an upload. Anyways, this has been Kwite, and I'll see y'all next time.